welcome back to Serving 813, a radio show and podcast featuring Tampa Bay organizations and groups every Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. We're your hosts, Ava Lamison,
Ava Hyde,
and Lily Nisley.
And we're back finally. It's been such a long time because with Thanksgiving and exam week, it's been a lot. But now we're finally back in the studio, and I'm happy to kick things off with such a fun show today. But with that said, we're super excited and grateful to be joined with one of the faces and voices behind the Buccaneers Foundation.
Now, if you don't already know, the Buccaneers Foundation is an administrative foundation committed to strengthening Tampa Bay and developing leaders through meaningful programs and community partnerships that create lasting positive change.
So with that said, welcome to the show, Kourtney Sanchez.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yay, we're so happy to have you on the show.
Yes. So, Kourtney, you are the Chief Impact Officer of the Buccaneers Foundation. Can you tell us on a deeper level what the Buccaneers Foundation is all about?
So Ava mentioned already, we really have kind of two pillars. So the first is around strengthening Tampa Bay, and that's kind of our broad approach to addressing Tampa Bay's greatest challenges. And then the other pillar is around developing leaders. And so I'll kind of cover those two pillars separately to kind of dive in a little bit deeper. So when we think about strengthening Tampa Bay, we really kind of try to survey the community, understand what our neighbors and community members are dealing with as their biggest challenges, and using our platform at the Buccaneers and our players' platform and our owners, the Glazer family's generosity, we try to do meaningful work to address that. So something we're doing right now while we're in season is all of our player initiatives. So when our players come back in town and they're in the locker room, you know that captains are picked on the field, but they're also picked off the field as part of our player community impact board. And they make up a huge part of that strengthening Tampa Bay pillar, because they sit down and decide what the biggest challenges are that they want to address while they're playing in the season. And so this year, what they're doing is youth mentorship, food insecurity, and housing affordability. And so we do work with our players. They are not only donating their own funds, they're also donating their time. Players only get one day off in the season. And that day off, they're building houses and doing food drives. And it's just such a testament to their generosity. And so our Strengthening Tampa Bay, again, is broad by nature so that we can be nimble and change our approach as community challenges change. And then our second really big pillar is around developing leaders. And that is really stems from the Glazer family's commitment to children and that next generation of leaders here in Tampa. So we do that a variety of ways. We partner really closely with the Hillsborough County Public Schools. We just recently announced a $700,000 gift to support their efforts of students. But we also do a ton in the girls' flag football space, which is really meaningful because we know statistically that sports develops leaders later in life. And so those are really our two pillars, but we're a busy team. A lot of people think, oh, when you're out of the season, like, does your life slow down? And no, because community needs and issues don't slow down. So,
yeah. I love how you said that the captains get to kind of pick a foundation or a cause that they want to help contribute towards, because I didn't know that. And I think that's super cool. It makes it really personable, you know?
We have just such an incredible culture as far as like our locker room goes. So it really starts day one, like at the draft, when our team is really trying to figure out what college athletes we want to draft into our rookie class. When they're being interviewed, which is part of our decision of who makes the team, they're interviewed with this mantra of, I am that man. That's what we say. And it's all about being of high character and values, because you can be really great on the field, but if you're not really great in the locker room, when things are tough and you're not winning, that's going to really bring the team down. And so we look for super high character, high moral valued guys, and it just kind of ripples across everything. So you see it on the field and in the teamwork and camaraderie. But then again, like I said, they get one day off, and so many of them are giving back. And that's just a reflection of who we are as an organization.
I mean, that was the first question. I didn't know like half of this stuff. Like,
Yeah, me neither.
I'm not a big sports girl. All I know is like the Super Bowl and a touchdown. But seeing like all the work that these players like put through, I never knew that. And I think that's really awesome.
Yeah.
But my next question is, what role does the Buccaneer Foundation play within the 813 and beyond?
Yeah. So, like I said, we're really nimble by choice around how we quickly react to what Tampa Bay needs. So one of my favorite recent examples was obviously we had a really horrible hurricane season last year, right? And the Glazer family immediately out of the gate, Hurricane Helene hit first, and they came out and said, they were going to make $1 million gift to immediate disaster relief organization. So that's going to be your Feeding Tampa Bay, your Red Cross, the teams that are on the ground serving our neighbors. And then we blink and Hurricane Milton comes through and we're back at it. And so the family and the organization immediately knew we wanted to match and give that $1 million back for a second time. So $2 million in like a very short period. But rather than just doing the same exercise we did before, the family and our foundation, we really paused and we looked around and we did a lot of conversation, a lot like a listening tour almost of the community. Like, where are the gaps? Like, what needs help? What bridge can we create with this $1 million gift? And we realized it was really our small business community that wasn't having the resources that so many others were. So the Glazer family launched the Glazer Family Small Business Fund. We have been able to support almost 300 small businesses through $1.2 million in grants. So Ava, to answer your question, how are we impacting the 813? Like, I think it changes. It really depends on what the community needs, and we are ready to answer that.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, checking all the boxes.
Yeah, I think it's really important and great that you guys look around and see what's specifically needed in the community instead of having like a fixed thing that you always help with. Because like you said, the small businesses during the hurricanes last year really did get hurt. And a lot of people don't notice that because they're small businesses. So it's really great that you guys help them.
Thank you. Yeah, just a testament. We know the small businesses are the fabric of the community. So always want to help.
Yeah. Do you mind maybe talking a little bit about the history of the Buccaneers Foundation, maybe how it started or anything?
Sure. So, I think that most teams across the NFL have some form of foundation attached to them. And I think that's, as it should be expected. Like, we have this incredible platform, not only in our community, but across the league and at a national and international level. But I think what makes the Buccaneer Foundation like so unique is the Glazer family, our owners behind it. And they've done so many things throughout their time of ownership. So the team is actually celebrating its 50th season, but the Glazer family has owned the team for 30 years right now. Oh, wow. So it's really an exciting milestone for our organization. But they've just done things uniquely for the Bucs Foundation and for the community that I just think really are a testament to them going above and beyond. One of my favorite examples is I know I got to brag a little bit on our players and all the work that they're doing and how incredibly selfless and generous they are. But to match that and encourage that, and again, just really to cultivate and foster that culture of giving, the Glazer family launched the Glazer Family player matching fund. So every single dollar that a player gives out into the community, the Glazer family is matching. Oh, wow. And I just think it's so beautiful. It's not just us telling people you should be in the community and we want to do good. Like, we're putting, our money where our mouths are, for lack of better terms. And I just think that's something that's really beautiful about the foundation and our ownership family.
Yeah. And I also went to the Glazer Children's Museum when I was little. That's part of it too. Okay, that was the funnest place I've ever been.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I'm also a very big Bucs fan, so it's great to hear that the players they're not just really good at football, they're also actually really good people. That's really great to hear.
No, Ava, I love what you said. I'm not a big sports girl. Yeah. My whole team trolls me because I'm not a huge sports girl either. My dad would die. But knowing these players personally and seeing them give back and just in such an authentic way, it's not for fanfare. It's not for the media. In fact, a lot of our players say, I'm going to be here. I'm going to do this. Please don't bring cameras. Please don't let the news know, because they want to do it for the right reasons. Just makes you root extra hard, right? Because you just love who they are as people and you want them to personally win.
Yeah, that's just great. But hearing all this, I'm wondering, what are some ways for the community to get involved into this foundation?
So one of the pillars I mentioned was around developing leaders, and this is a big one for us. And I mentioned our schools partnership, but something we do that again is a testament to the Glazer family and specifically Darcy Glazer Kasowitz, one of our owners, is around what we've done around Girls Flag. So if you did watch the Super Bowl this year, you might have caught the NFL made a Girls Flag football commercial. It's also going to be in the 2028 LA Olympics. So Girls Flag is having a huge moment, which is awesome. But rewind 10 years ago, ago, actually, this year is marks the decade. Darcy started laying the foundation of building girls flag football here locally. And when we look at like the national team and the Summer Olympics in 2028, like we really believe there's going to be a ton of Tampa and Florida talent because of the incredible work that's been done here for 10 years. And you can ask anyone in the league, they'll point to Darcy as like almost this like visionary for the sport of like what girls flag football could become. And so to celebrate that 10-year mark, we developed the She Is Football Weekend, which was inaugural back in March. It's a 2-day celebration. All funds raised go back into our girls flag football programming. And it's really important to us because 94% of women in the C-suite played sports growing up. So we know sports develops leaders, right? Mm-hmm. But when you look at girls drop out of sports at twice the rate of boys. So the Buccaneers and the family are really committed to reversing and like impacting that statistic. So we made She Is Football Weekend as a way to bring the community in so that they can get involved. And then all proceeds from the weekend, whether you're coming to the Career Summit on Friday or you're running in the 5K 1 mile run, walk, and stroll on Saturday, that is a way for you to get involved and support this mission of keeping girls in the game and developing them into the next generation of leaders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's really funny that you mentioned the girls flag football because I think I almost remember like 10 years ago, girls flag football was really on the rise. All my friends were playing it, and it starts from those people that really have a passion for starting things like that and reamping them. Like you said, girls flag football is obviously was on the rise and still is.
Yeah.
So I love that you said that. I think it's really cool. Like kind of connected the dots.
Yeah, it all comes back to Tampa. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, I think that already wraps up our first segment. This show's going by so quick, but I think today we're going to play some Temptations, My Girl, but we'll be back after this song.
And we're back. Welcome back to Serving 813. Make sure to tune in to live365.com every Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. if you want to find ways to serve your community. Now, if you're just joining us, I'm one of your hosts, Ava Hyde, and we're here with Miss Kourtney Sanchez from the Buccaneers Foundation.
So for this segment, we want to talk more about you, Kourtney, and your role within the Buccaneer Foundation. So my first question is, how did you first get involved?
Yeah, so I'm a third generation like native. So I grew up in St. Pete and I think because I was third generation, I was just really taught to like love my community and want to give back. And so I went off to school and knew I wanted to work in nonprofit. So when I moved back home, I started my career in nonprofit work. And at every stop I've been in, pediatric cancer, American Heart Association, Advent Health. At every nonprofit I was at, the Buccaneers and the Glazer family were my donors or supporters in some way because they're so generous. Like we were talking on the break, there's so much that we do. Mm-hmm. And so just through that relationship of maintaining that with them, when this role, the Chief Impact Officer role opened, it was just kind of a natural fit. So I spent my whole career on the side of the table really advocating for nonprofits and looking for that support. And now I'm on the other side of the table really leading the strategy around like who we support, when, how, and why.
That's really cool. And when you say like leading the strategy, like this next question is, what does a typical day look like? So just like to get into
that. Oh, it's, every day is so different. I think that's what I love most about my role is it's so broad. So I oversee everything that the Buccaneers are doing from a charitable perspective. So two ways we do that, which people don't typically think about, is like players. So anytime the players are at a charity event or out in the community in any way, that rolls up through my team. Our cheerleaders roll up through my team, which is another surprising one to people, but that's because our cheerleaders are only on the field 40 hours a season. They're in the community 1,000 hours. So they're really like community impact brand ambassadors. And I also oversee the Bucks Foundation and all of the Glazer family philanthropy. So every day is so different. Today I was talking about cheer pom-poms on one side, and then the next side I was talking about a strategy for a big initiative we're launching in January. So it's just so broad.
Yeah, that's funny you bring up the cheerleaders. I was at it's called like Power of Thanksgiving. It's through this foundation I'm in, and called the Ryanese Foundation, and we were serving meals to just like the less fortunate, and they had the Bucks cheerleaders.
Yeah,
there. I think
they are everywhere.
Yeah,
they're everywhere. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool. So I can obviously tell that this job is very personal. You talk to a lot of people. What part of your job brings you the most joy?
Oh, that's so hard because I tell anyone who asks, I found myself saying it today to someone, I have the best job in the world. Mm-hmm. I truly deeply believe that. I get to work with an incredible team. I have an amazing team of people who are as passionate about giving back as I am. And so we just work so well together. That brings me so much joy. To work with a family like the Glazers who are so generous and always thinking about how they can do more is not only joyful, it's really inspiring to me.
Yeah.
But then, as a non-sports girly, as I said earlier, to get to know these players and to see how big their hearts are, they don't have to be giving their day off back. They don't have to be giving their hard-earned money back. And so I just think every facet of my job brings me so much joy and really is the best job in the world.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
That's just all anyone could hope for is just have a job that they love going to every day. So that's really special. And this actually question might be hard too. You said the last one is. I think this one's harder, but it's what does this foundation mean to you personally? So it's kind of up to interpretation on how to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, being born and raised in this community, watching how much it's grown has been incredible. I think back to the St. Pete I grew up in and the Tampa that I remember when I was growing up and just seeing all of the incredible opportunity that there is and how many generous organizations and incredible nonprofits there are serving this community is really amazing. But with that, on the flip of that, as a community grows, it outgrows people as well. And I think that that's when you see housing affordability issues and single parents not being able to afford to put a roof over their kids' heads, and then you have food insecurity challenges. And, I'm proudly on the board of both Habitat for Humanity and Feeding Tampa Bay because I really believe in supporting our community's growth, but also supporting how that growth can negatively impact our community members. And so I think that that is very personal to me and my personal story growing up here and how I continue to just celebrate and also try to lean into those tough parts about how Tampa Bay is getting bigger and better every day.
Yeah. Okay, the next question is, what has been your coolest experience you've had with the Buccaneers Foundation, and did you ever experience any challenges with it?
Coolest experience has to be something that the Glazer family does is through their Glazer Vision Foundation. They have a mobile vision clinic that goes out into Title I schools and community events and screens children for vision impairment. Then they'll give them an exam if they fail the screening, and then we actually give them glasses on the spot so they can go back to class with glasses. And like, watching kids put glasses on and seeing clearly sometimes for the first time in their lives, like, oh, it just like gets you in your feels, right? It's just like such an incredible moment. I would say that was probably one of the most like pinch me moments of like, gosh, like this is my job. Like I get to do this. So that's the coolest. And I would say the challenge, I'll never forget, I was at a lunch with a nonprofit CEO who I adore. And he said to me, Kourtney, you have the worst job in the world.
Oh
I said,
gosh.
what? I have the best job in the world. What are you talking about? He said, you have to tell so many nonprofits no every single day. That has to be the worst job. And it's true. We have so many nonprofits in this community. We have so many needs in the community, and we can't be everything for everyone. No one can be, right? So we do say no, but we have a lot of other unique ways to give back and support them. And, you know, we give thousands of auction items away every single year as ways to support when we can't financially support. But I mean, I just think that what a gift we have that we have a platform where we do have the ability to see so much need. But yeah, I mean, that's a challenge, but it's part of the job, unfortunately.
Yeah. I think growing up in Tampa especially, you can like I've grown up in Tampa my entire life, and just I always see the Bucs behind almost everything. Like even Relay for Life, that's at the Bucs Stadium, and that's for like a cancer walk. So they help with that. Just like every small volunteer opportunity I've been at, there's a 99% chance the Bucs are behind it. So I think that's really cool that you get to be behind that.
Yeah.
Which is even cooler.
Yeah, I'm thinking about like literally like half the people we've interviewed from Surfing 813, the Bucs have done something with them, which is really cool how you guys, I mean, that's
I was
crazy.
thinking of Sandra Miranda with I Care on the Go.
Care on the Go. That was our first show.
Yeah.
Wow, full circle moment. Well, I think it's time for another song break. I'm boggled by how fast this show's going by, but I'm going to play some Madonna, Material Girl. We'll be back after this song. And we're back. Welcome back to Serving 813. Make sure to tune into live365.com every Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. if you want to find ways to serve your community. Now, if you're just joining us, I'm one of your hosts, Ava Lamison, and we're here with Kourtney from the Buccaneers Foundation. So I put up an Instagram story the other day asking you guys listening to send in questions regarding the Buccaneers Foundation. And just like always, we've got a load of responses.
Oh, yes.
So let's get started.
Okay, so our first DM says, what makes the Buccaneers Foundation different from other foundations?
I think something that makes our foundation unique is the amount of like internal programming that we do. So I know, Ava, you were saying like, you go out and you see the Bucs everywhere and they're doing so many things and we're supporting so many charities, which we do, but we also do a ton internally. And that's why, I have 10 people on my team, and that's because we are busy all year round doing things, whether it's Cheese Football Weekend that I touched on earlier or something that's really unique we launched last year is called National Coaching Academy, where we bring in 25 coaches from across the world. Like they come from Europe, and we had someone from Japan last year. They come into Tampa for a week, and they're doing kind of like half days in the classroom, half days on the field. And it's all because there's this challenge where if you want to become a coach in the NFL, it's all about who you know. Like applications don't go online. You're not submitting your resume. You're not networking and making calls. It's literally like a coach comes into a team and like brings a whole group of people with them. And so we realized that was a problem. And so Darcy Glazer-Kasowitz said, we have to like figure out something to do that we can try to fix this or try to solve this problem. And so those 25 coaches come in, 5 of them are selected to come to training camp and all through preseason with us, as well as through a fellowship program. So I just think that like that's such a good example. Rather than saying there's a problem, let's go invest funds externally, we build the program internally and try to solve it through like our own manpower and problem solving skills.
Yeah, that is really cool.
I agree. I think it's kind of like you're doing outward things from what you're doing inside of the things like people don't even see. Like I don't know how to like really word it, but you're like internally working to externally show everyone else kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, this second DM, which I guess we've kind of already said this, but like just how you would say it right now, but it says, why do you think it's important for the community to have a foundation like this?
So I think that when you look at an NFL team, the platform that team has is incredibly large. We're really fortunate to be in a community where we have football, hockey, and baseball. And all 3 organizations are doing such incredible work. But I just think that that's part of it, right? Like you are given this incredible platform to use your voice for good, to use your resources for good. And so when I think about your question, like it's so important because of the platform and opportunity that we have that other companies and individuals just don't have.
Mm-hmm. And I like it because it's not just geared towards like people not in high school, but all the people in high school are all big sports fans. Yeah. I mean, we had like a meme Instagram page. It was like when Tom Brady left the Bucs, or it's something like that. And like, it's funny to see like how like the Bucs Foundation like ranges, like its platform ranges from all ages.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But the next DM says, where do you hope to see the Buccaneers Foundation in 10 years' time?
I hope that the Bucs Foundation is in a completely different chapter, right? I touched on earlier just that we're nimble to change based on community needs. And I hope the challenges that we're seeing right now aren't the same challenges in 10 years. Like I hope that the work we're doing to impact the causes that are important to us and important to our community and our fans, we become part of the solution. So when we think about what are these challenges today, I hope in 10 years they're not the same challenges. Like I hope that they're almost not fully solved, right? But just that we've moved the needle to the point where there's so much support, so much momentum for good that the challenges look completely different.
Yeah. It's like opening new opportunities. So,
yeah.
I think that's really cool. So this next DM asks, if you could describe the Buccaneers Foundation in one word, what would it be?
I think visionary. And I think there's so many examples of why I picked that word, whether it's a small business fund, like that's first of its kind, right? You know, when we had a big league meeting, actually we hosted it in Tampa. So all of my peers from the 31 other teams came to Tampa and we were meeting in all of these breakout sessions and people were so just beside themselves by like the creativity of the small business fund, right? Because Lily, I think you were the one that said like, oh, our small businesses really took a hit. They needed the help. And there are a lot of communities that need help, and we have to be visionary and nimble enough to act in support of them. I think National Coaching Academy that I talked about is super visionary. Reverse 10 years ago, the work we were doing in girls flag football, so visionary. No one else was doing that work. Now everyone's doing that work. And so I think that's what makes us really unique is like when I look at our press releases or things that we're doing to kind of raise awareness in the community, like I'm so proud to see that almost every press release goes out with first of its kind. Yeah. Like that's incredible.
That's like really unique to be able to say that you like led that instead of just like kind of hopping
joining
on the trend.
Yeah. Wow. Exactly.
Okay, this DM says, what is the best way to reach out to the Buccaneers Foundation or just find out more information about it?
Yeah, so if you go to the Buccaneers website, so buccaneers.com, at the very top like ribbon, there's a community tab. You can click on that, learn all about our programs. Everything that we're doing is on there. There's also a She's Football tab, so that will direct you right to our She's Football weekend page where registrations are open now for the 5K and 1 mile run, walk, and stroll. We also have the Career Summit that is really open for women and girls of all ages. So it's a great networking opportunity. You get to hear from national female leaders about their career paths and their learnings and just lessons on leadership that's really helpful. So as far as like how to get involved and learn more, Buccaneers.com is a great place. We also do a nice job on our Instagram channel at Buccaneers where we are constantly promoting. We just had our She Is Football game on Sunday. And so you'll see a lot of She Is Football content up from that game. And so a lot of different ways to kind of keep in touch of all the different things that we're doing.
Yes, I love that. But I think it wraps up your time on the show, Kourtney. Sorry, I lost my words, but thank you so much for being a part of Serving 813. We're so happy to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been
I
fun.
learned so much. Like actually, wow.
Yeah, me
like
too.
I just like became like Super Bucks fan to like ultra Super Bucks
I
fan.
love it.
Yes. I'm going to watch like my first football game.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, I guess your outro song's going to be Two Princes by the Spin Doctors.
Oh, right.
New song unlocked. Okay. But don't go anywhere because me and my fellow hosts are going to do a little reflection after this song.
And we're back. Welcome back to Serving 813. Make sure to tune into live365.com every Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. if you want to find out ways to serve your community. I'm one of your hosts, Lily Nisley, and we were just here with Kourtney from the Buccaneers Foundation, but now it's just me, Ava, and Ava.
I think now would be a good time to reflect on our host in our foundation that we just got to interview.
Oh my gosh, this is like the best case scenario coming back to this show and like having such a cool Kourtney was amazing.
She was so sweet.
No, like I'm actually changing my career path. Like in the past I've said I don't know what I want to be when I grow up.
Suddenly this.
Just found out, yeah.
I like we don't have cameras in here, but if you could see Lily's like she was
her
like
eyes
glowing the whole time. It's like she saw like a cookie in the distance.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, yes, well I am just a big Bucs fan and wow. Like
I mean, I thought it was really just today's show. I didn't know. I know I've said this like in the first segment. I don't know football and I don't know what they do.
Oh
like
my gosh.
Sports rah.
We have like some juxtaposition here because Lily's the biggest Bucs fan I've ever met and Ava doesn't do sports.
I know. I do Pilates, but
oh my gosh, you actually need to watch. Like this Sunday, everyone's coming to my house. We're watching the game.
No,
Thursday,
sorry,
against the Falcons. Yes. Hopefully Mike Evans is back in the game.
Okay.
Anyone know about that? Okay.
Oh boy. Okay. But it's just so cool. Like, how do the football players just have one day off?
I was thinking that because it's low-key insane. And I feel like I always see them at foundation things and to think that that's their day off. Like I didn't think of that.
That'd be my day on if I was like literally you know what I'm saying? Like if
yes, I do.
Like if I was like working, that's like going to a foundation, like talking to a bunch of people. They like usually have to do interviews and stuff. Like that sounds like the most packed day ever, and that's literally their day off. Like there's no way.
I know, and not even the players, the cheerleaders too. She said like 40 hours on the field, 1,000 hours
Isn't
service.
That crazy? Also, like they fully get ready, like they're going to a game. Like they it's a full situation. Like they have to travel far and like wear their outfit,
and then they still look like bombshells doing it.
Yeah, and then
like,
they might have a game later that night. Like that's kind of insane. I didn't really know that, but that's also a really cool job. It honestly like made me want to do business. But I also don't like business.
Don't try to steal my new job.
I know,
now.
I'm sorry. I guess
for one
you're going to be like,
suddenly we're applying for this.
Yeah.
Suddenly me and Lily are applying for the same position.
Oh my gosh, why are we like...
I'm just kidding.
Wait.
I'm kidding.
The best man will win, I guess.
Oh, wait. Okay, I think this little competition wraps up today's show. Make sure if you haven't already, follow Serving 813 on Instagram if you want to get updated on episodes, or if you're an organization and you want to be on the show, you can DM us and you can stream this episode in probably tomorrow. But with that said, we're serving your city one convo at a time. This is Ava Lamison signing off.
This is Ava Hyde signing off.
And this is Lily Nisley signing off.
We'll see y'all, I think, in 2026.
Oh,
so,
was it? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Because next week we don't have an episode because it is exam week, so we will be locked in.
Okay, so see you guys next year.
Yeah. See you guys next year. All right. Bye.